United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we set, maybe we could just stand and just have a thought for all those poor people in Japan who are undergoing traumatic experience at this time. Thank you. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of our meeting.
I'll make a motion.
I guess I'll second it.
Councilor Dino made a motion that the minutes of the February 14th regular town board meeting be approved as submitted by the town clerk. Seconded by Councilor Lattimore. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, we have Councilor Kathy Devens and Councilor Donald Trombley as being absent.
And Councilor Donald Trombley is in the hospital, so I just want to let everybody know he's had some medical issues, so he's been in since last Wednesday, so we wish him well. While we're on that subject, also Dick Lewis will be out for the next 10 weeks. He had rotocop surgery today, so we wish him well. And I'd like to thank the highway crew again this month. They've had a tough few days this winter. I mean, not the whole winter, but I mean, especially the last few Mondays have been very brutal, and we just like to thank them for long hours during the night and a great job that they did keeping our streets clean and safe. And just want to extend a great thanks to them. Since there is nobody here from the public, we will dispense with the open comment session from the public, and we'll go right to Heidi. It might be a short meeting.
The only report, I guess, was just follow up on the AT&T presentation last month. I don't know if you were going to touch on that stuff, but Bill.
Basically what's happening right now is we have hired Mr. Comey as our representative for the town to address the issue of the cell tower, where we're going to end up putting the actual dish, whether it be on the cell tower in the orchard or the cell tower being on our water tower. So he is going to come up here, do some readings, and he said that he would have this project done within 2 weeks. So we want him to go through the process and make sure, you know, AT&T can't use our water tower for some reason. I mean, it would be great revenue for the town if we can get him to put it on there, and he's gonna see if that's, you know, can be done. So
Great.
We should have results within 2 weeks, he said.
Terrific.
Anybody have any questions about it?
Now, we'll still go in front of the planning board?
After he makes his determination, yes.
So he's gonna file a report, just a feasibility
Right,
report, basically,
right.
and we'll see that, and then AT&T will come in front of the planning board again.
I believe it'll go to the planning board first, and then it'll come to the town.
Our study will, or,
His study, yeah, Mr.
Right.
Comey's study, yes.
and then they have to make a recommendation on which place they think is
Well, they,
best
as you
suitable,
know,
or
are
what?
trying to put it on the cell tower in the orchard.
Right.
And they're gonna present their case, and Mr. Comey's gonna
Mhm.
see if they are correct, if they're not correct, and it is feasible to put it on ours, and depending on the readings that he gets and finds out that, yes, we have as good a service or better,
Mhm.
then, you know, we want them to use our structure first, so that's where we're at with that.
That's
Anything
all.
else?
No.
Chris?
Just a few items. I see, or you sent us a copy of the letter that you sent to Fred
Yes.
for the snow removal of
Yeah.
sidewalk.
And it was done within about 2 days.
Did you get any response back from him, or? 'cause
Nope,
I don't
nope.
see any change done there.
Well, After I sent that letter, that was after like the first snowstorm.
Yes.
Well, actually, right after the last meeting, I sent that within a day or two. And within a couple days, he had that sidewalk cleared away. So he did respond by shoveling it.
Okay, good.
I really didn't check about the last snowstorm, but he was good about that one, so
Okay.
he did have somebody do it.
The second item that I have is, I received a copy of Bob Cheeseman's 2010 annual report as a historian. And one of the things that I noted, and I don't know if we could ask Bob, is on the last page, he indicated that this year he was preparing for the 200th anniversary of the Battle of Plattsburgh and Chazy's involvement. And he was going to go over to the Chazy School and make some presentations about the importance of the town of Chazy. I was wondering if we could also ask Bob if he would be able to make an appearance at Beatmantown and Northeastern, since there are residents that attend those two school districts. And I mean, I think it's good for all the communities to know the importance of every town during for the Battle of Plattsburgh. So that was just a little tidbit that I wanted to run by Bob this evening.
Where would you want him to go, or to speak about maybe the kids again at the school?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where he was gonna make the presentation here at Chazy. I don't know if he was gonna have like an assembly in the auditorium for the elementary, or if he was gonna do it for, it really doesn't specify, but.
I would think all of the school districts are gonna have, you know, a big hand in, you know, presenting that to all the kids, so I'm sure there'll be a place for them in all the districts. I mean, it's gonna be a huge,
And, you know,
event in the whole area.
you know, just food for thought,
Okay, that's good.
okay? And do we have the status on for the blueprints and cost for the vault yet? Or-
We have the drawings for the vault, and what Tom said that he was gonna start on that probably,
Well, we have, it's weather related at this point, because what's in there has to go to another area, and.
we're thinking about moving everything that's in that area that we're gonna turn into the vault down to another location in town anyway, where that's locked and secured. So we're just waiting for it to get a little bit warmer, but.
Do we have any cost?
We don't have any
associated with
cost.
that?
He gave us cost in the beginning, not to exceed $5,000. I think we made a resolution, or $5,500. Remember in the beginning, we did that resolution? That was for the materials. So we had already actually done that, and we do have a set of plans that he's gonna use.
Now, in the plans, are we gonna be doing a demo of any part of the garage here?
Well, eventually, when we get it done, the vault done, from the left-hand side of the garage where the vault is now, hopefully we can tear all that off, and, well, Tom had mentioned actually maybe even taking part of the garage off, and leaving it a flat door so you can drive in with a truck and a tractor up from the, what is it, the south side.
Rearrange it.
And
And
the roof needs a lot of work on that too,
Mm.
by the way.
is it a metal roof?
No,
Shingle?
it's just been tarred and tarred and tarred, it leaks terrible. I mean, really bad, so we gotta address that too.
And the other item that I had was an update on the new truck that was ordered, but Dick's not here, so we're not gonna get that update. And finally, have you received any response as far as how that ski program is going?
I think their last trip is coming up, actually, if they didn't do it last week, but they had, I'm not sure exactly how many kids, but they sent an email out before every trip, telling them where they were going, sign up, make sure their sheets were, I think it was very, very well received this year. And what I'll do is I'll email them and ask them actually how many children from Chazy participated. I'll have that for next meeting.
That's everything, thank you.
Gary, anything?
I just had down too that I thought the highway guys did a very good job last week with the storm. And also kudos to Bob Cheeseman for all of his achievements in his end of the year recap that he gave us. He's very, very busy, I think, and dedicated to it, so.
Bob puts in a lot of hours.
Yeah, he does.
A lot of hours.
I mean, he's probably here 4 to 5 hours a day.
Right.
It's very lucky to have,
Yeah.
you know, his time and energy that he puts in.
Right.
Yep.
He really does a good job.
He does.
I'm sorry, Jerry, go ahead.
We talked about a snow blower for one of the tractors.
We haven't got all our
Did that or
quotes in
no?
yet.
Okay. All right. The JCEO job, did they fill that or?
Not yet, because of New York State budget cuts, JCEO may be actually cut out of there, and they're not sure yet, so they're waiting to hear what kind of money that they're gonna get. So until, they do have a person that has, you know, or is trying to get that position, and she's from West Chazy, but they are waiting to hire her until they sure they got enough money, and so, they thought they were gonna hear something last week, but
All right. So they think
nothing yet.
she's a good candidate then?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
she's very good.
All right, that's good. All right, and the new maintenance man, has he started?
Today, this is his first day,
Okay,
yes.
you're gonna cover that?
Yeah, I got,
Okay.
yeah, one of the things
All
here.
right. I think that's it.
All right, I got a list of things here, some of them we're gonna wait on, since we don't have a few council people here that I'd like to get some opinions on. Basically, we have a resolution tonight. These are a couple things that the Board of Elections would like us to do. One of them is to give them a set of keys for this hall and the West Chazy Hall. Just at election time, we can bring them down to the Board of Elections, they have the keys, so that if they wanna get in here, they can get in here, bring in the booth, set up what they need to set up. And the same thing for the Grange Hall, just so that you don't have to scurry around getting keys for the buildings, and then they give them right back to us after the elections are done. They would also like us to store, you know, those privacy booths that we had when we voted. They are asking the town to store those for them, so they don't have to transport them each time during election.
I saw that.
I don't take a lot of space, but,
Do we have room to store those items now?
yeah, there's not very, I don't think there's probably more than 8 of them. And, I don't know if they collapse. But,
I mean, that was one of the questions
I
I
don't
had.
know.
Look like
They
the
look
size
like
fold
they
into
fold
each
up.
other.
do they,
Yeah.
I didn't see them set up, so,
Yeah.
And when they push them out,
It might be
there's
stuck.
one right there.
Yeah.
okay.
Where are they stored now?
At the county building in Plattsburgh.
Now, is it just a
So they're
space
asking
thing for
every
them that
town to
they,
store their own. What's that?
it's a space thing that they
Yes.
are building for them?
Well, that was the next question, is the county gonna pay us for storage of them?
I don't know.
I can answer that.
I mean, I think first we need to establish if we have enough room to store 8 of those privacy booths.
We are gonna be getting rid of,
Four here, four there, before.
yeah, actually, we could store 4 here and 4 in the West Chazy Grange Hall, because that's what we need in each location, so I don't think they're gonna take up a lot of space at all. And to be honest with you, one of the other things that we're doing, I'm gonna tell you about tonight, is that the county has asked us to get rid of our old voting machines, okay? So we had to do a couple things. Either we get rid of all of them to a junk dealer, and we let them know that they're all gone to a junk dealer, or we've been told that we could ask the school, which we did ask the school, if they wanted one of those voting machines, because they still use those. And the school wrote us a letter and said, yes, we want one. And we also asked our historian if he would like one for the history office as just a piece of equipment that people can look at years down the road, saying this is what we used to use to vote on. So he would like one. So we actually have a resolution tonight to give one to the school, one for the history, and 3 we will get rid of a scrap dealer. And we have to let the county know where everything went. So that's another thing that we'll have a resolution on tonight.
How many do we have? We have
5. 2 here and 3 in West Chazy, because of Scioto,
Right,
and then the 2
right.
in West Chazy. Did I go over the Time Warner last meeting? No, I'll give you some results of what they came back with. We had asked them as part of their renewal of their contract. Number one, that we wanted the town hall here to be wired up for TV. That's not gonna be a problem. We asked them to do every classroom in Chazy Central Rural School. The cost to do that, they came back, was about $15,418. They've sent that to their president to find out about if they have enough money to do that for this year. But I told them that they had told us before they were gonna do it, so he said, well, if we told you before we're gonna do it, then you've got a good chance of getting it done, so he just mentioned that to me. So he's waiting for confirmation of money on that. The O'Neill Road in West Chazy is a definite, construction for that. From Time Warner is $94,777. He said within 9 months to a year, they sent it to be designed, and that's gonna be a go. The Ketchum Bridge Road, Sarashan Road, and Booter Lane and Stetson Road are not gonna be done because you have to have at least 20 homes per mile. So those 3 roads will not be done. So that's the latest I've gotten from them. One of the other things that we want to bring up, but I want to wait till everybody gets here, is more discussion on the Ingraham Road issue, of how far we want to go with this, as far as having our other lawyer find out what we're going to do and what direction we're going to go with that. So far, we have about $380 invested in it. And he asked, he can do a couple more things, and asked if we wanted to do it. But I'll bring it up at the next meeting when everybody's here, and we'll talk a little bit more about that.
And back to that Time Warner thing.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything about their price increases or anything in that contract per year? Saying what a maximum increase
You know,
or
not in this, what they give me.
making some big jumps?
Yeah, they have, like,
Is it something we could, I
negotiate.
doubt they would shoot it down, but it wouldn't, to me, it'd be worth trying to put in there, you know,
I
a
think
maximum increase
Maximums
of,
per year or
you know,
something?
percent, you know, a certain percentage per year or something, because they,
I'll find out already, we'll ask them if there's anything that we can,
you know.
I don't know, I'll probably let them try.
Well,
Doesn't hurt to ask. I can say it's no. David Loop has started today. David is a new maintenance person for the town. He's gonna be working with Tom for a little while, until he gets accustomed with everything that Tom does on a daily basis. And we'd like to thank all our applicants that actually came out and interviewed for the job and put in applications. We had actually over 40 people. We were lucky to hire somebody from West Chazy, so it's nice to keep it within the township. Convenient too, it's close by, if we need him with emergency, so. We did put a resolution in there tonight. He's gonna be using his own cell phone, which is actually better for us. So I'd like to compensate him a little bit for the use of the cell phone, so much per month. That saves us money actually, by doing it that way, so,
What did Tom has a cell phone now,
yes.
and for what purpose?
Well, when we need him, we call him on his cell phone.
Would we need him for,
We call him all the time, you know, Tom, so-and-so has a problem with this, so-and-so has a problem with that, can you go down here and to the water tower and do this? We call him quite often.
now, at the town highway, they have two-way radios. I mean, you couldn't get, you know, a two-way radio for here off from their system that you could put in his truck or have him carry around to utilize?
Could try, I guess, I don't know what kind of system Dick's got, or,
He's not always in his
but
truck.
the thing is, he's not always in his truck, or, I don't know if he's gonna have that radio on all the time. With a cell phone, he's everywhere he is, and on him all the time too, it's awful convenient. We've always had, like Conrad had a cell phone. Tom, we were lucky he used his own. But, and I think the way I'd like to do it in the future, I mean, it's up to you guys, but it's actually cheaper for us not to have to pay the billing charges. And what we do is give them so much, because they're gonna be using their phone for their personal use too. So we just say, we're gonna give you X amount of dollars for our use, and the rest is on you.
But I guess the only question I have is if he's not getting charged for you calling him and it's part of his job.
It's part of his monthly minutes. I mean, you get a flat rate depending on how many minutes you get, but it's not really fair for us to use somebody's cell phone and not give them some compensation for it. I don't think anyway. I mean, it's not, otherwise we have to get, like we did with Conrad, we went out and bought him a phone, and got him his own plan, but that's more expensive every month because you gotta pay the monthly billing charges, $5 or $6 because you're paying it by the month, and if you go over so many minutes, you pay more minutes, and I just think that a flat fee saying to him, look, we know you're gonna use it for your personal use too, and we've had situations where some people used it over their minutes for personal use, and it comes to a point where you say, well, you know, you're using this a lot for your personal use, and you gotta cut it down because it's more expensive, so we won't have that debate that way. I don't know if a two-way radio would, if he'd want it on all the time or want to carry it all the time. The thing is, if he goes to Plattsburgh and he's on a Saturday afternoon and somebody has a water pump problem, and I don't think he's gonna be carrying that two-way radio with him through the mall or out to eat or.
But when he took the job, we told him he was supposed to be available 24/7.
Right.
And there had to be a way to make some type of communication with them that, you know, that, I mean, that's just common sense. When you tell somebody that you're available, he has to realize there has to be some way that somebody's gonna be able to get in touch with them.
I just don't know how convenient it's gonna be for a two-way radio to be with
I
somebody all
mean,
the time.
otherwise, I mean, do we have to supply all the guys over town garage with a cell phone or reimburse them? Because they gotta get called to go into work too.
What do they use big part of the winter time gives them what?
He calls on cell phone or home phone. I mean, he gives them,
Didn't they have some type of a radio they used for a couple of years or something? Or a
we
beeper?
tried
beeper?
a beeper, and then we found out that was a it was cost too much. So he discontinued that.
I don't know. I mean, I had put in, which the resolution was saying, I had put in like $30 a month for the cell phone, which I don't know if I mean, I can check. We don't have to do this tomorrow. If you want me to check on two-way radio to see if we can get it any cheaper, and we'll see what the costs are. I can check with the highway department, see how they're working it, but it is used a lot. It's not like,
I mean, what's the town's policy as far as a town employee receiving personal phone calls on their cell phone during work hours?
I don't really think we have one, to be honest with you. I mean, every employer would like to make sure that, you know, personal calls are limited, but you know that people are gonna be, you know, and he's on his own, he's out working, I can't, you know, we're not gonna be babysitting him, knowing who he's talking to. I mean, he's got a job to do, he knows what he's gotta do, but people are gonna take phone calls, and I mean, to tell somebody they can't take any phone calls besides business calls is gonna be pretty tough when we need to get a hold of them. If there's a water issue or a pump issue, you know, we need to make sure we get a hold of them right away.
I didn't know, like, you could buy just a handset for here and a handset, you know, for him to have in the truck, or, you know. when
But what
he's
happens when
working.
he's not in the truck?
Well, they have them where they attach right on their belt. And they, you know, they just take them around just like it, you know, it's bigger than the cell phone, but it's.
So I would actually have to, I mean, I get a lot of calls where people call me at home and tell me that a pump station's ringing. So
Well, then you would call
I
him at
have to come
home.
up here.
No, why wouldn't you just
Well,
call him
what
at
happens
home?
if he's at the mall or something? I can call him anywhere he is.
Well, he's supposed to make himself available 24/7. Isn't that what we said during the interview process?
Can't expect the guy not to disappear from home, from the town.
I'm not saying that, but I mean, he's gonna give you, emergency contact numbers where you can reach him at.
The cell phone.
Much like cell phone is the easiest way.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He's gonna have his cell phone with him anyhow, where you would just call him from your home to reach him on the cell phone. It'd be no different than, you know, you calling him at his house, from your house. So we're gonna pay him for his home phone service too?
No.
But,
I don't call him
you know
very
what I'm
often.
saying?
It's just for convenience, I think, of being able to reach him. And I'll bet you we call him 5 times a day, at least while I'm here, probably 4 or 5 times a day while I'm here, and I'm only here till 11, so.
While he's at work.
Yeah,
And his cell phone's on the would be on the webpage and everything, so people don't even have to call the town, they know he's the maintenance man after he's been here a while,
But
they
actually,
just dial that number.
All the pump stations, we have their cell phone numbers on it, because that's the easiest way for people, they usually call my cell phone, and we put it on there because we want them to get a hold of them immediately, so we put everybody's cell phone number on all the pump stations. I don't put my home phone on it, I put my cell phone on it. But if you want me to wait on that, I can wait till next meeting and get some radio prices. I don't know what it would cost for a base station, and I mean, I think we're getting into a big expense, starting expense anyway.
I don't know, I was just, you know, I thought you just needed to be in contact, you know, when you're here at the town office and you need to call them and say, hey Dave, you need to go to the West Chazy Rec Park because there's a problem.
Plus, I don't know how great the communication is on those things, how clear they are, or depending on where you are, how good they come in. I don't know, I'll have to do some investigating, I guess.
Well, I didn't know if you could just, you know, come right out from the one from the town garage. I would think that it's gotta be pretty powerful. It goes to, all the trucks when they're on the road.
But you use a base station, so everything would be based out of our
Well,
office.
they have some dead spots too, don't they?
You know, I don't know.
Used to.
So in other words, to communicate from them here would be fine, but once I'm home, I'm not gonna travel all the way up here
But
to,
I'm saying, why would you use any different form of communication rather than calling them at home or for an emergency situation on the cell phone? I'm talking about during normal business hours, when he's working regular hours.
I have to see what the cost difference is. I'll find out. We'll just, on that resolution, we'll wait till the next meeting, that's all. It's not anything we gotta do today anyway, but we definitely wanna have some communications with this guy in case something happens to him, and not wait too long, that's for sure.
Well, I understand that, but I guess nobody's following my point. After hours, he should have some form of communication, not only for you or anybody else in the town. He's gonna have a home phone available and some other means of contact that should be published, just like I have my home phone number published and I have,
So he's
Cell
gonna,
phone number
so most
published.
likely he's gonna use a cell phone, right?
well, it doesn't, I mean, you've gotta make some
He's
type
gonna
of
be
point.
anywhere, whether he's home, the mall, or whatever.
I understand
His
that,
cell
but
phone number is gonna be used, and even if he's at work, it's the same number, you don't have to deal with umpteen different numbers. One number, anytime.
I'm saying after hours,
Mm-hmm.
because that's when, you know, Joe Small is gonna wanna call him from his home because there's an alarm system going off, in their yard. So yeah, he's gonna have to have a number published where somebody in the,
It's
is
gonna be a
gonna
cell
have to
phone
get in
number.
touch with him,
We put on all our pump stations the cell phone numbers.
where he can be reached. And that would be the same way if you had a two-way radio where at night, if you got a call, he would still call him on his regular cell phone to tell him that there's an emergency where he needs to come out and make the, service call.
But why should he use his own personal cell phone for business?
Then why have him available 24/7?
I think that the difference, having it available 24/7 is one thing, but the town contributing toward the expense to make them available is another.
That's right, that's what I'm trying to
Right, but
get
I
across.
think I mean, I don't know that you extend an offer and ask someone to have that availability.
But that was part of the job.
I don't think that means they take the expense on of being, I mean, he's saying I'll be around, but it seems completely logical that the town would pay for that expense to have him basically at the other end of the phone whenever you call him. That's what you're paying for. And as Snob said, I think just the convenience factor of calling one number and knowing he's probably gonna pick it up. And you're not locked into a contract if you get a phone, and you don't have to worry about what if he loses the phone, none of that is on,
No insurance costs, $5 or $6 a month for insurance alone.
yeah.
It's probably $10 a month just, you know, because of individual billings and the insurance costs before, I mean, we see the bills for Dave's phone, it's $50, $60 a month. You know, I mean, we're just trying to offer 30 so that, we can do away with all that. And have access to him, and he won't mind, that way he can make how many personal calls he wants, but it's not on our phone bill, so. Ours is just a contributory amount.
So we pay Dave, who?
Well, we bought a phone for him, but we now are talking to him about getting his own phone. So we can do away with, it's his phone, do what you want with it, but we're gonna give you.
So it's the one that he has strictly business?
Well, again, he's using it for town purposes, and he does make some personal phone calls on it.
Right.
And we monitor it, because we say, hey, we can make sure you don't go over these minutes. If you go over, we're gonna send you the bill for it, so. We're not gonna eat your personal calls.
And that's basically the same thing, so he can be available.
Yep. So you want me to wait on that, or do you want me to check on any two-way radios? You tell me.
No, I'm fine with that.
So whatever you wanna do, I don't care.
I like this, I mean, personally, I like the fact of the cell phone being convenient and on him all the time, and I don't have to worry where he is, and it's not gonna, I don't think, money-wise, it's gonna make a big difference.
Well, the convenience, I think, of one number, if you're gonna post a number, on a pump station, if it happens during the day, call this number, if it happens after a certain time, call another number,
Okay, I already went over that. Just let you know that I talked to Tim Ryan again this week. They did do some more work on the plans for the sewage building, just to beef it up a little bit more, I guess. So they're at Mr. Moser's, and he expects to have them to me, like, he even was gonna bring a set of plans, and don't bring them to us until they're completely done, so there's no sense in, telling us what you're gonna do to beef it up, but he's been over it with Mr. Moser, he's an engineer, and they're doing that now, and we should have the final plans this week. One thing I thought about doing, this is the last thing that I have, and this is something that I don't wanna go into big detail today, but I just was talking with Sue one day and mentioning that it would be kinda neat to do a Facebook site for the town. Put a picture of the town building on it, add friends to it, people can relate, ask us questions. I think it doesn't cost us anything to do it, number one, and number two, it's a great way to get the word out on something in a hurry if we need to. I mean, as you know, people are on Facebook like crazy today, and we could put down something simple as town meeting tonight, and whoever your friends are will get that. I think it just generate a nice thing to be able to participate with people on the web instantly. And people could, say comments if they want to or whatever, but we'll try to keep it as generic as possible, but nice to be able to put down things that we've done or worked on or whatever, and just let people know.
Yeah, that's fine.
It costs nothing to do it, and it's growing very quickly. So that's something I'll go into further detail maybe at the next meeting, but that's all I've got for tonight, so I guess we'll go over resolutions.
Okay, first resolution I have is, by the way, that new pile I gave you tonight is the same as the other one, plus a couple extra.
Yep.
First one is authorization for the Great Chazy River Memorial Post 1418 to sell bloody poppies.
I'll make the motion.
One second.
Councilor Lattimore made the motion, seconded by Councilor Dino. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Absent, Councilor Trombley and Councilor Devens. Next one is a resolution to provide Clinton County Board of Elections with keys to the Chazy and West Chazy town halls for election time.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion was made by Councilor Dino, seconded by Councilor Lattimore. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Absent again, Counselor Trombley and Counselor Devlin. Next one is to accept storage of the election privacy booths.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Counselor Dino made the motion, seconded by Counselor Lattimore. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Absent, Counselor Trombley and Counselor Devlin. Next one is disposition of old voting machines.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, Counselor Lattimore made the motion, seconded by Counselor Dino. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Absent, Counselor Kathy Bivens and Don Trombley. Next one is resolution authorizing employment of new maintenance man David Luke.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Counselor Dino made the motion, seconded by Counselor Lattimore. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Absent, Counselor Trombley and Devens. You want to go on with the next resolution?
Sure.
Authorization for David Luke to use his own cell phone.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Motion is made by Counselor Dino, seconded by Supervisor Spiegel. Any discussion? Okay, and this one will take the roll call according to Mr. Favreau, and those dealing with money, we should take a roll call. Counselor Lattimore?
No.
Counselor Dino?
Yes.
Counselor, or Supervisor Spiegel?
Yes.
Okay. Motion has been denied. Will be carried.
It's approved.
Approved? Just two of you,
How many do you have to have? At 2 out of 3?
3 out of 5, right?
Yeah,
Also, we can't pass it.
no, it's been denied.
Okay. So it's waiting. I'll have to bring it up again.
Okay. Next one is Chazy Town Justice Annual 2010 Report Review.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, the motion is made by Councilor Lattimore, seconded by Councilor Dino. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Absent, Councilor Evans and Councilor Trombley. Carried. Okay, next one, I have the usual every year, 2 applications for junkyard license removal from B&B Salvage, and one for their site on Route 9 and the other one on the Macadam Road. I have given these applications to our code officer. He has been gone all week, so he hasn't had a chance probably to look at them, but the resolution is
Contingent to his approval, he said.
right. contingent his approval.
Frank's been at codes class in Lake Placid all week, last week. He'll be here tomorrow.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Counselor Lattimore made the motion, second by Counselor Dino. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Absent, Counselor Devons and Counselor Trombley. Budget transfers,
I'll make the motion.
Counselor Lattimore made the motion, second by Counselor Dino. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Absent Counselor Devons and Trombley. Next one is a resolution authorizing the town secretary Susan Patno to attend the 2011 11th Annual Town Finance School.
I'll make the motion.
Any further discussion? Motion is made by Counselor Lattimore, second by Counselor Dino. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next one's payment of claims.
I'll make the motion.
Counselor Lattimore made the motion, second by Counselor Dino. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Absent Counselor Trombley and Devons.
With that, can we make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Meeting is adjourned.